Hey guys, welcome back to Every Little Promise, where we pause to listen to the voice of God's love. You are here with Monique, and guys, I am here to stand for and represent the love, the light, and the truth. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on from where I left off last night on the topic of alignments before attraction. Preparing for a God-ordained husband. Alright guys, so I left off at, I believe, Anna. Alright, so we're going to dive a little bit into Anna and see, the role that she played and her character, that's in the Bible. Alright, in regards to, having that divine or destiny spouse, mate, what was her character? How did she apply God's principle to her life to attract into her life the blessings that God gave unto her? Alrighty, so Anna. Devotion before desire. Anna did not remarry out of loneliness. She devoted herself fully to God. Alright, Luke 2nd 36 through 38. It says, she fasted, she prayed, and she worshipped. She stayed faithful even after losses, right? And because of her devotion, she discerned the Messiah when others missed him. So because Anna, I'm sure that a lot of us are familiar with the story of Anna. She was having trouble conceiving. She was having trouble to have, a child. So Anna, she was having trouble to conceive. She wasn't able to, produce children with her husband, right? So because of where she was, she fasted and she prayed and she worshiped God and she stayed faithful. Even when she lost things, even when she lost things, even when, she wasn't able to conceive, and she saw other people or other women conceiving and having children, and she was mocked and she was looked upon as if something was wrong with her, but she kept her faith, right? She kept her faith. And being in that process, it's not an easy place to be, being judged by others because they may see you in a season and they don't understand why it is that way for you. Many of us are faced with situations like this in our life. Even I, where, people judge you, and they misplace you when, they say all manner of things because they don't understand your purpose, and the reason why things may be the way how they are. As we can see here, Anna's story is now being used after so many years, right? Her story, her testimony is now here written in words in the Bible to be an example for other women, other men, other people, right? Sometimes there are some of us that have to bear the cross. Sometimes there are some of us that have to be the one to sacrifice, to be a display for another person. You get what I'm saying? And people are not going to understand, when you decide to walk, on a spiritual path, or decide to submit yourself to the Lord, and choose to walk in his words, choose to walk in his ways. Because the ways that you are choosing to become and the person that you're allowing God to transform you to be, the choices that you make, the path that you take, The decisions that you make, it is not going to be normal to other people. So because the things that you do and how you operate, it is not something that is normally seen by others, right? Or we'll say it's not the trend. It's not what everyone else is doing. People are going to judge you. They're going to say all manner of evil against you. You're going to have to go through things. And sometimes the pressure of what you're going through, if you are not equipped, it's dealing with people, sometimes your own family, people that don't understand. So they judge and they say all sorts of things. But the more you are spiritually grounded in the Lord, is the more you learn not to allow these things to affect you, not to allow these things to shake you, not to allow these things to move you. Why? Because remember, Jesus said on the cross, "Forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do." Until another person is ready to pick up their cross and decide, I am going to walk this journey of purification, this journey of changing my mindset, aligning myself with God, right? A journey that is so much more purposeful, than living your life in a low vibration, in a vibration that is normal to everyone else, right? A vibration that isn't being fruitful. It's producing things, but it's not producing things that's going to be lasting. When we come into alignment with God and His words, our choices, our decisions, the way how we live our life, it becomes fruitful, it becomes purposeful, right? It becomes something that doesn't just stop with you, but it goes on from generation to generation to generation. When the Bible tells us not to store our treasures, on earth, but to store our treasures in the kingdom of God. Our treasures are the things that we choose to do, the way how we choose to live our life, the spiritual aspect of ourselves, right? When we choose to do these things, when we choose to, do the right thing, even when the wrong thing shows itself up, but you choose to be honest, you choose to, stand in the right, those things doesn't die. You're storing up treasures. It goes on. As I said, karma, what goes around comes around. It comes back around. It comes back around to your generation. It comes back around to your children. It comes back around to your children's children. In the Bible, it talk about Moses, that Moses wasn't able to enter into the promised land. Sometimes there are things that we come into covenant with God with, right? And we may not live to receive that blessing. Why? I don't know. It may be of our own choices, of our own decisions, of our own wrong turns. Because remember, God give us choices. Sometimes we are going to walk out of alignment with God. And when we walk out of alignment with God, it causes us to miss the mark. It causes us to miss the point. But because God is such a fair and just creator, He sees that good and He's not going to let it go void. So it passes down to your generation. It passes down to your children. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So you may say, okay, I'm going to go on a journey and, I want to attract good things in my life. I want God to bless me, with a good husband, someone that's going to love me and accept me and respect me for who I am, and all these things. You get what I'm saying? And you start on the journey and you start on your purification process and you start putting in the work, right? Somewhere along the line, you may feel like, okay, God, you're taking too long. I can't wait anymore. And you may just decide that, okay, I'm just going to just choose the first person that I see and I'm going to be with this person. And then bam, you choose that person, right? And for the first year or two, things may be okay. Things is good. But as you go along, things starts to change. In you are still going to be the quality, that godly quality, right? That's within you. And that person that you may choose, they may not have that quality. within them, right? And because now you're that person's wife, just like the experience that I had, that I share with you guys, right? You know, because that's your husband, and what you know is to be there and to play your role as a wife, right? You're going to fall out of, alignment with God, because your husband is demanding and he wants this and he wants that. And because you know, feel as if, okay, I have to fulfill his needs, I have to please him, you're going to operate out of fear because you don't want to lose this person, and you're going to miss the mark. You get what I'm saying? But while you're in that situation, if you can choose to still hold on to your values, to the principles, to the things that God taught you, just like I was, right? Yes, you're going to slip. You're going to do some stuff because now what? You're in a toxic situation. You're trying now to hold on for your dear life. You're trying now to fight for your life, for your existence. You get what I'm saying? So in a situation like that, God knows where you are, and he sees, where you are. You know what I mean? And if you can get to the point, as I did, to say, you know what? Enough is enough. This isn't for me. It's not fruitful. I don't have any peace. I don't have any joy. I'm not able to focus on the things that I want to focus on and be the person that God showed me that I am. I am going to quit this. I'm going to walk out of this. I'm going to leave this. You get what I'm saying? If you're not strong enough to get to that point to say, okay, I'm going to let go of the things that's not serving me, then you're going to stay in that cycle, and you're going to keep going through, the pain and the hurt and all these things, right? But God still sees the good that you do. He still sees, the treasures that you store up, and somewhere along that line, those treasures is going to be passed down to your children. It's going to be passed down in some way. You're going to get that. It's going to come back to you. You may not physically receive it, but you will be able to have the joy in your heart to know that, you know what? My daughter is in a good place. My son is in a good place. I can see the blessings of God in their life, right? And even though I didn't get to enjoy it, even though I didn't get to receive it, but at least I am living to see my children inherit, this blessing. And it's never too late for anyone, but it's the choices that we make. It's the decisions that we make that I am going to choose to change me. And we cannot half-step it, guys. We cannot half-step the journey. We have to be devoted to the thing 100%. You get what I'm saying? To be able to see the results. But sometimes we lose our way. We lose focus, and we miss the mark. You get what I'm saying? So, God is faithful to his words, and he's faithful to his promise. All right, so we were talking about Anna, and she prayed and she worshiped God, and she stayed faithful despite where she was, right? It says, a woman who is full of God will not settle for what is empty. There we go, case in point of what I was just talking about earlier, right? A woman who is full of God will not settle for what is empty. When God is inside of you, and remember, when we talk about God, we reflect back to ourselves, because God is inside of us. So when we get to the place where we know ourselves, and we know our worth, and we know our value, and we know who we are, because God crowned us with his glory. God said that I am to be praised, right? God said that I am fair. God said all these things that God says about us. Because we believe in those words, and we believe what God say about us, right? We are not going to settle for anything that is empty. We're not going to pick up anything to ourselves that is not going to add value to who we are. We're not going to pick up anything to ourselves that's going to tear us down. No. Anything that comes into our life, anyone that is in our circle, it is to build us up. The words that they speak about us, their intentions towards us, what's in their heart towards us. Because remember, we're not just operating from a place of flesh. We're operating from a place of spirit. And everything that is done, seen or unseen, it affects you. It affects me. You get what I'm saying? So if you are with a man and that man inside of him is not right towards you, it's going to affect you. Why? Because you have been clean, you have been purified, right? And God is in you. So because God is in you, right? Because you choose to allow that light to be a part of you. You choose to walk by his words. Anything that's around you that's not clean, you are going to know it. You are going to sense it. Anybody that come in front of you and smile in your face, but in their heart is filthy towards you, you are going to feel it. You are going to know it. Yeah, when you are clean in the Lord, that is how sensitive you become in the spirit. You know people. You see them for who they are. God show you them. So you're not going to settle for anything that is empty. When you're with someone, you're going to feel things. You're going to sense things. You're going to pick up red flags. And you're going to be like, you know what? No, this is not for me. You know, and another person may look at that person and say, oh, but he's such a nice person. He's so good. He's so this, he's so that. They're only seeing the physical. They're only seeing what's outside. But because you are clean and because God is in you, you will know what's hidden before it surfaces itself. You get what I'm saying? So, yes. So, Anna was a woman who is full of God, right? So, she knows what's good. So, she's not going to settle for anything that is empty. And so should you, right? Psalms 37 verse 4 says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. When we delight ourselves in God, meaning his words, right? What God say, right? We delight in it. We become it. We reflect it. We shine it in our action, the way how we carry ourselves, the things that we do. You know, whether we're in the presence of someone or we're out of the presence of someone, who we are, we know to ourselves, this is who I truly am. I know the truth about me, and God knows the truth about me. So I can't pretend in front of someone to say, oh, this is who I am, when behind closed door, you're something else. So fully 100%, you delight yourself in God, right? He said, I will bless you with the desires of your heart. So what is the desires of your heart, right? You know it. God know it, right? So you continue to work and establish yourself in God. Align yourself in his words. And whatever your heart desire, God say, you got it, right? And if what you desire, you don't get it the way how you may desire, remember, God knows what we don't know. And he sees what we cannot see. And he's not going to give to his children anything that is filthy. No. He's going to protect you by all means. Why? Because you bear the cross. You choose to go through the suffering. You choose to go through the agony. You choose to go through the pain. And you stuck in there. Just like Anna, right? She went through so many things. She lost so many things. But what? It didn't stop her from praying, from fasting, from worshiping, right? Worshiping is not just going in the temple and, oh, praise be to God. Worshiping is a sign of a reverence to God, his words. You're doing the things that he say you're supposed to do. You're worshiping him, right? Because you're delighting yourself in him. So it's not just about lifting up some gospel music and dancing and shouting. No, your worship is also a part of your action, what you do, right? So Anna did her thing. She put the work in. So guess what? Her desire must come to pass, have to come to pass. She cannot miss it. Even if she dies and she did not get to inherit that blessing, it's going to be passed down to her children. It's going to be some way, somehow, it's going to come back to her generation. It's going to be connected back to her. You get what I'm saying? So yes. So these are the things that we have to be aware of. And these are the things that we have to know, that we don't serve a God that is not faithful. Anything that God promised you, it's going to come to pass. You will have it. You will receive it. It will come back to you. You get it? Alrighty, so when God become your portion, your desires become purified. So when God is your portion, when you love the Lord, when you fear the Lord, when you love his ways, why? Because when I walk in the love of God, when I choose to be honest and truthful, when I choose, to be loyal, when I choose, not to gossip about people, when I choose to do the right thing, I see the light that it reflects in me. I see the good that it does, right? It feels so good. You do something for someone and you do it from your heart. You're not doing it because you want people to see what you're doing. You're not doing it because you're looking for a return. You're not doing it because whatever. You're doing it because it just comes into your heart to do something. And you did it and it felt good. Yeah, when you give freely from your heart to someone, that's the greatest feeling ever. You get what I'm saying? So when God becomes your portion, your desires become purified. Whatever you do, it is to God. Whatever you do, whatever you say, wherever you go, you carry yourself in a way that is just reverence, honor, dignity, respect. You get what I'm saying? So yes, guys, it pays to walk in God. Believe me, it pays to walk in His ways, walk in His righteousness. It pays. Let us look at Anna, and her devotion to God, and what it brought to her, and the same for us. That God wants to reveal Himself to us just the same. God wants to reveal His presence to us just the same, right? When we choose to walk in the Lord, I'm telling you, it is a wonderful thing. When we choose to lift our vibration, lift it up and elevate it to the righteousness of God, it is a wonderful thing. Alrighty, you are doing how you live your life is not just for you, but you're giving back to God. You're giving back to creation. You're giving back to your generation. You're giving back to your children. You're giving back to the universe. You're spreading good karma out here, right? You're sending out the vibration of love, and that, my friend, is needed more than ever before. Alrighty, so from every little promise to you with love. Thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful day. Happy New Year. Please be safe. God bless.